Hello to you and welcome back to the Japan Game Junk podcast. And I will now happily tell you the tale of a visit to the book market supported by Surugaya store, not directly Surugaya, but supported by Surugaya store in Koriyama city of Fukushima prefecture of Japan. This was a very recent visit on the same day that the other previous episode of A Visit to Koriyama did in fact occur. So they do have two Surugaya stores, but this one again is a combined store, book market, Surugaya. Not much difference, just one bought the other. So anyway, telling you a bit about what you can find at this store. First of all, what I found that was very interesting was that in fact there are many Nintendo 64 controllers of various different types. Actual ones, first party ones that are in great condition, 1,500 yen and 1,200 yen for your third party Hori ones. Not the mini pad that are more expensive, but the standard Hori, cheaper pads that add the turbo functionality. For 200 yen, there was a Jeff Dam, damn you Jeff, there was Def Jam Vendetta for the PlayStation 2, and I've had the GameCube English version since I first bought the GameCube way back when I was in college, more than 20 years ago. But I thought, you know what, I'll get the PS2 version here in the junk section for 200 yen, and in fact I did. One other thing that was pretty good was the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller for your Xbox One goodness. A mere 10,000 yen complete, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, especially in box, although I doubt I've ever seen it outside the box. Pretty good. Less good, in my opinion, is a third-party super converter for your PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 system that lets you use a up to PlayStation 5 controller. It's like a dongle that plugs into your PlayStation and it takes the the Bluetooth signal to play anything. But at 6,700 yen, there have to be better options out there, I'm sure. The cheapest one of these I've ever seen, and that is the OLED Nintendo Switch, the all-white version. They are, this one was super cheap. No box at all, but otherwise, 27,000 yen. For a little over $200, it's very cheap to find these days. There are many loose Nintendo Switch games, including the cheapest Breath of the Wild I've ever seen at 3,000 yen loose. No box or anything. In fact, that's even 300 yen cheaper than the Zelda Musou game, the where Link runs around and fights everyone game. That was a bit surprising. And for all you fashionistas, you can get the model debut game for the Switch, card only 1,000 yen, so you can dress up your girl or whatever. I don't know if this is a great deal, but I've always been a big fan of the design, and that is the Xbox One S Minecraft edition. It just looks very beautiful, and they had one there. Only the machine, so no controllers, no power supply, but those are easily found, of course. 25,000 yen for that. The Splatoon 3 soundtrack was on CD for 3,600 yen. And that sounds very expensive, especially when it's used, but the new one, when it came out, 5,300 yen when it came out, new, for a CD. Wow, kind of crazy. Something else I picked up was for 200 yen, because maybe they didn't know what it was, but I did a good old Google Lens search on it, and it was the Bluetooth adapter for your Switch. You plug it into the bottom of the bottom there on that C, the USB-C there, and it lets you play with any Bluetooth controller you like, or do the Bluetooth headset stuff. Yeah, that's all your support there for your Switch. It was only 200 yen. It was very nice. I got that. Speaking of an original soundtrack, but one that would look like it would cost more, is the R-Type Original Sound Box. This is a huge box. It looks like it should have like 10 packs of DVDs in there. But it has all the R-Type music from over the years, recent remixes, all that stuff. And that's 6,000 yen. And if you're a big game, music, or R-Type fan, that probably is a pretty good deal. It's less than half price of what it costs new. Also, not a good deal, but I'm just a fan of the cover art, is Pit Fighter for the Mega Drive. It was 2,300 yen. And just like those, the muscle dude punching the chain guy, Cheaper than that, and rarer, and thus probably better to buy if you're a collector, is Team Innocent, an adventure game for the PCFX in the big box. If you're a very loyal viewer of my YouTube channel, one of the early shorts I made showed how the PCFX boxes are among the most wasteful ever made. And this is one of those, but still, if you want an adventure game where there are lots of girls in like mech suits with body skin tight uniforms looking all busty, and that's your thing, well, there you go. Team Innocent for the PCFX. You look up that cover, it's a good one. For 2,000 yen. Next was probably the best deal I've seen, and if I still had my ROM system I would have picked it up, and that is NAM 1975. One of the smallest games on the Neo Geo. It's only 46 megabits, megabytes, megaboats, but still 9,300 yen. And my understanding is that this game is much more expensive usually, even though it's just the cartridge for this price. And the last thing I noticed there was a Final Fantasy VIII figure. And as you probably know, and as everyone should know, I am not a fan of RPGs because they're not fun. But here, Final Fantasy VIII, there's a figure of a woman. I'm sure if you played the game, you know who it is. It's some woman in a blue dress, coat, thing, blue skirt with blue cape, I don't know, thing. And it's 300 yen. The box is all beaten up, but the figure inside looks normal. Just a small figure of Final Fantasy VIII somebody. And one thing that was weird about this one is because it was in the junk section, it had to put down a price on it. And so because they wanted it 300 yen, but I guess originally the price was registered as something more, they marked the price as 455 yen plus tax of negative 150 yen, negative 155 yen to make it the 300 yen. I thought that was pretty interesting. And it had the original sale price of 0 yen because they just marked it as random figure. I thought that was pretty funny. So you should be laughing right now because it's so funny. Anyway, that's it for this episode, because that was it for this store visit. A wonderful day I had in Koriyama, and this store, again, I ended up buying less than 1,000 yen worth of stuff, but it had quite a bit of there that was of interest, I feel. So thank you so much for listening, and hope you're having an incredibly wonderful day. And remember, if you're going to sell 25-year-old figures, you might as well have negative sales tax. Thank you so much, and yeah, have an incredibly wonderful existence.